was worried. Hey guys, Abner Miranda here. Right now the reason I made that comment about being worried is that, you know what that is? That's a 17, not my customary 19. There's a story there, I'll tell you guys later. I'm trying something. Anyways, I'm shooting 3x5 cards from 15 yards because I haven't touched this gun in forever. And like I said, I'm trying something right now. So anyways, today I've got a video for you that has got an interesting notation. As you guys know, I make notations in my phone. And the notation for this video is the deadly reality of Grabass. All right, when you look up the term Grabass, I think it's in the Urban Dictionary or something like that. The first time I heard that term Grabass was in a book, in a biography about John Boyd. And for those that don't know John Boyd, those of us that are in the 40 plus, maybe 35 plus range know who John Boyd is. OODA, O-O-D-A, Observe, Orient, and Decide Act. Well, John Boyd was an Air Force pilot who, I need to just, I'll do a longer video on this sometime, but basically John Boyd codified air combat. And this is a guy who I really believe was high-functioning Asperger syndrome. He had a level of focus that was phenomenal, and it actually comes through in the book. One of the things that he would do, this is before the flight weapons readiness school, I forget what the actual term is, Top Gun. He's actually the reason Top Gun exists. Before that school existed, he would go out into the desert with his friends, into the desert of Nevada with his friends, and they would all say, we're going to meet at a certain coordinate, at a certain time, at a certain altitude, set a hard deck, and we are going to play a game of Grabass. And they would basically just chase one another. And of course, anyone who understands even a modicum of air combat understands that the whole goal of it was to get up and behind your adversary and gun them down. And the trick to that is when both aircraft begin turning and spiraling down, they begin turning tighter and tighter, and essentially whoever passes out first loses. And so John Boyd had figured out all the maneuvers that were needed for that kind of thing. And I read the book. I completely just inhaled the book on a vacation, trying to find a polite way to put this, but I don't think there is a polite way to put it. A lot of what passes for firearms training these days is what I refer to as gentrified shooting. And a lot of that crap comes from the NRA rules of what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, that kind of sunshine. But when you have grown up playing with BB guns with your brothers and actually shooting at one another, see, y'all think airsoft is new. It's not new. BB guns, actually pellet guns. My brothers and I used to play with our pellet guns in the backyard. We had about an acre and a half, and it was one of those wild acre and a half type yards with all kinds of, you know, foliage and stuff like this. And bro, it got ugly. My brother, I think it's either here or here, still has like a deposit of copper or something that was left behind in his leg because we had to dig it out. And anyway, so yeah, good memories. As you can tell, I'm smiling. But we shot at each other for real. We played Grabass for real, and we shot at one another. And so when you grow up doing that kind of thing, you instinctually know that when you draw a firearm on someone, it's just pow. I mean, it's just you're tossing shots at one another. And like for example, in this video right here, this is not a polite stand and shoot. And so anyways, these dudes were wailing on one another with sim rounds, and some of these rounds whizzed right past me because I was standing just mere feet from what was going on. So I was getting like this big picture, not to mention the camera was high on a pole and was getting the big picture of what was going on. And like I said, having grown up playing pellet guns and BB guns with my brothers, having grown up fighting, and I mean like flat out brawling, blooding one another in the backyard with my brothers, I'm grateful because I know how to take a hit. And what I find in the firearms arena, there's such polite firearms training that's going on, and it's like, come on guys, it's a brawl, it's a full-on Grabass is what it actually, it's not even Grabass, because Grabass is technically a polite game between friends. This is a full-on brawl. This is shoot and scoot, run and gun, popping, just you're yanking shots off at one another. There's no squeezing, no pressing, no pulling. This is yanking triggers on one another. And that's what I do in my training. What I'm getting at is this. That's what I do in my training. When you guys come out to train with me, we train on steel. I've got a small army of targets over here that we train on. Those of you that have trained with me know these targets very well. We train on these targets, and we get these out for some of the more static stuff, mostly for accuracy, which is why those have 3x5 cards painted where the pericardium should be. And that's a Dave Spalding thing. I love that. That's a great drill for actually knowing where your gun is hitting. But what I train people in is the full-on high-speed draw. It's just yank that gun, get it up fast. And one of the things that you do in firearms training is the gun, you're in the fighting stance, the gun comes out fast, and all of a sudden you have to slow down here. And that's one of the things that I often find myself going, why is that not being taught? Like literally explain. It's fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, and meaning it's fast, 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 slow. And it's pull the trigger, recoil, and the trigger press. How can I put this? I got to find a way to quantify this for you guys. Come here. Okay, this right here is 3 yards. When you're trading shots with a person, let's say there's a vehicle between us, and I'm putting stuff in my car, and dude comes up on me fast out of nowhere in the darkness, and I issue command, the guy keeps coming, gun comes out. All of this here has to be done fast, and once I get to here, I have to stop. I have to slow down, which is why a lot of what I see in the training environment is very stylized, where guys kind of go like this, and then they draw the gun, and it's this kind of thing, and I'm like, what is that? And this is not a series of steps. It's out fast and then stop and then take your shot. Having talked to someone who's been in a gunfight, he said there was no pressing, there was no pulling, it was yanking. But I still have to have a level of control to hit this guy in the pericardium, because I need to be able to stop him fast. But at this point, it's slow, and then it's recoil fast, find my sight, find my front sight fast, and then slow down again. Recoil fast, I can't talk today, find my front sight, slow down. So what I'm getting at is there's a lot of, and actually, and the act of holstering. So once I've dropped this dude, it's a step forward, it's look for his buddies, because remember, you have to trust that his buddies are trying to come and flank you, so it's looking for his buddies, maybe coming around the front of the vehicle, whatever the case may be, and at this point, it's actually now putting the gun up in a controlled fashion. So it isn't whack, 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 and then just, bow, throw it in the holster. It's fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, slow. Look for more threats. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I'm trying to give you guys more little tidbits of my curriculum, because I really want people to understand that what I'm doing out here is kind of out of the ordinary, but it's a culmination of all the training that I've had, because I've said this before, I approach training with you guys more as a student than as an instructor, because I'm interested in giving you what I've gotten. All right guys, that's what I've got for you today. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and remember, everything I do at Tier 1 Citizen is to help you realize your potential.